So how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Zen Buddhism. My order is for Guangshan Monastery. That means Buddhist like mountain. But my job is in the publishing, and I'm based in Los Angeles. It's Buddhist like Publications, USA.
And how have you been enjoying this week?
This is a very good experience. I mean, I've been to a good number of book fairs, but this is not. This is almost like a religious fair, of course, and it's good to see everybody coming together to have friendship and to know one another better and to kind of look across the aisle, so to speak.
And you're of Buddhist faith or ideology?
Yes, we're Chinese Buddhists.
And can you explain that a little bit?
Well, my master became a monk at the age of 12 in China, and he went to Taiwan when the communists took over. And there he eventually founded his own order. But the Dharma lineage is like the legacy, the heritage, is based in Chan Buddhism. And Chan Buddhism came from, of course, all the way back to the Buddha. And Chan is maybe better known as Zen, and actually Zen came from Chan. And Chan came from the Sanskrit word jhana. And the meaning of that is like a meditative state, or the mindfulness, the focus, that awareness in what we're doing, what we're saying, and of course, more important, what we're thinking. That are we helping others? Are we being a better person in what we do, what we say? And of course, everything comes from what we think. So thoughts really count.
Right. And do you guys have a holy book or anything of that nature?
Well, for all sects and schools and traditions of Buddhism is the same Buddha, is our teacher, the same basic concepts, should I say, the same precepts or rules that we're gonna go by. And the Buddhist canon, should I say, is like it needs a library to hold it. So it's not just one book. But Buddhism has been around for more than 2,500 years, and for China, it's more than 2,000 years. So there are many translations, and people may be aware that, oh, there are so many kinds of schools of Buddhism, and I would say that is the focus of the practice. It is Buddhism would easily integrate with the local traditions, the local cultures, and local practices. So over time, over the centuries, every region and country would develop their own brand, should I say, of Buddhism. And that's how things come about.
And what is the Buddhist perception on life after death?
Well, the Buddha taught us that life never really dies. It's just taking up a different form in a different realm. So it's not life after death, it's like life after life, should I say. Death is his physical body.
Beautiful. And so, what are some of the principles of Buddhism, to connect you with God, or however you perceive that?
Well, we recognize the existence of God, but of course, we are not. Should I say we would not be going. God is not really the liberation, the enlightenment. Should I say? The Buddha is a teacher, and his teachings is to show us how to be like him. We can attain Buddhahood. We can be a Buddha ourselves, but of course, it takes a long time, just as the Buddha did. Okay. So we all have the potential. We all have the treasure within us that we can be a Buddha.
Beautiful. So this would be the side questions. So there's a booth over there, the Nityananda booth, the one over there, and they're doing tricks where they can hold and see with their third eye what you're writing. Do you believe that that's possible?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what you're practicing, but that is not real seeking. In the Buddha's time, his disciples with what we call supernatural powers, they can see your previous lives, they can see your future lives, they can see what you're thinking, they can do this and that. But Buddha said, hey, this is not the end. Okay, this is kind of a side effect of your practice. That if you have attained certain level of mindfulness, you may be able to do a lot of things.
So how would you feel if you knew that the people doing it were using magic to deceive people to bring them into a spiritual way?
That is not the best. That is not we will do. We are not into fortune telling. We're not into like reading or whatever, because that is not good seeking. We focus on this life, and if you live a good life now, you will live a good life in the future. And sometimes you don't really need to know what's going to happen to you. It may be better for us, and we definitely don't need to know what happened in our past lives. That's a Buddha saying. If you want to know what happened in your past life, let's say, okay, just look at your current life, because the current life is the result of what you have done in our past lives. It's not just the immediate one, right? And if you want to know what may happen to you in your future lives, then you better watch what you're doing in this life.
Right. Okay, the last question that I'll ask you is any advice for people or humanity in general?
Open up your mind. Accept one another. Just, have peace. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. We're all different, and we should be different. But we have that common humanity of kindness, common humanity of the essence of us is to have goodness, is to, well, the truth can be interpreted in many ways, but at least, being kind, being accepting, and say, hey, we can be different. Why not? Otherwise, it's very boring. We're not clones. It's extremely boring for everybody to be exactly the same, right?
Yes. Beautiful. Anything else you'd like to say?
Peace.
Peace. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.